I had to go on music vibe. Rest in, I mean, I tried to promise y'all yesterday that I'm gonna do a live show, based on off the script, based on this day. But change of plans. We're gonna do something different today. With the sad truth about Little Kim. Uh, remember this Who Really Won series with Lil Kim versus Nicki Minaj that I did, the later video that I did last year. I did that last year. So it's time to do something different for a change. This is the sad truth about Kimberly Jones, aka Lil Kim. This is her story. Rest in peace to my grandmother, Geraldine Alexander Coleman. But this is her birthday today. But this is about her today. But I'm ready to do this to dedicate her legacy. Let me set this up. I hate setting up shit. I hate setting up shit. I know it's gonna suck.
You could write any kind of lyrics, talk about anything. Why so much sex?
Internet bullying is something that really needs to stop, At the end of the day, us celebrities have it worse.
The story of Lil Kim.
Lil Kim was born on July 11th, 1974 in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, New York. As a child, Kim was sent to a well-established Catholic school, Queen of All Saints in Brooklyn, in an attempt to provide a stable learning environment. But stability was lacking after her parents' marriage broke up when Kim was 8 years old. Linwood, a former military man, reportedly began to use physical violence against his wife. Kim told the Washington Post in 2000 that she remembers her mom having black eyes, and that her father told people she had fallen. In a 2000s interview with Newsweek, Kim reminisced about the way her father criticized her from the time she was very young. It was like I could do nothing right, she said. Everything about me was wrong. My hair, my clothes, just me. That set up a pattern for her future relationships with men. All my life, men have told me I wasn't pretty enough, even the men I was dating, and I'd be like, well, why are you with me then, she winces. It's always been men putting me down, just like my dad. To this day, when someone says I'm cute, I can't see it. I don't see it, no matter what anybody says. Kim moved with her mother and brother to the suburb of New Rochelle, Illinois, where some girls in their new all-white neighborhood teased Kim because of her skin color. Ruby May struggled for money and, unable to support her family, eventually granted Linwood custody of their 2 children. Linwood remarried, though his relationship with Kim soured irreparably only after she began dating boys at the age of 13. According to Kim, he became verbally abusive, and their relationship took a violent turn. One day, Kim stabbed him with a pair of scissors.
When I was 15 years old, I was kicked out of my house. So I was on the street. I was basically homeless. I was forced into doing things that I didn't want to do. You know what I mean? Like, dipping and dabbing with guys. I was selling drugs and doing all other types of stuff. And
in the following years, she sometimes lived with neighbors or with elderly men who provided her with housing and food. She worked in department stores, following in the footsteps of her mother, who worked at Macy's and ran errands for drug dealers. She also hinted that she had been sexually assaulted, although she never named her abuser. The girl wanted to become a rapper from a young age, and she finally got lucky.
What's up, Big Mama?
This is what
What'd you just call me?
This is what Biggie met Kim.
Big Mama.
Kim studied at the Sarah J. Hill Vocational School in Brooklyn and then at the Brooklyn College Academy. Her future rival, Foxy Brown, also studied there. By the time Kim met Christopher Wallace, better known as Biggie, at the age of 17, she had completely given up on her education. Wallace was a couple years older at 19, a small-time drug dealer on his way to hip-hop superstardom, as the notorious B.I.G. They met accidentally on a street corner, after which Kim freestyled for Biggie. In 1992, Wallace signed a contract with Sean Puffy Combs' label Bad Boy Entertainment. In addition to his solo career, Wallace organized the hip-hop group Junior Mafia, which included several of his childhood friends. Lil' Kim became
all
the
8 or
only
9 of them,
female
bro.
member of the group. Under Wallace's leadership, Junior
Oh,
Mafia
look, you
released
got
a
Biggie
number
singing
of
strong,
singles,
bro.
and in
Rapping while
1995,
singing on his
the
phone.
debut album Conspiracy. With the single Player's Anthem, Lil' Kim was introduced to the world.
Big Mama was glossy and climbing. She was like glossy
And a little later released her debut album Hardcore.
Auntie used to have that
Became
album too,
extremely
the Hardcore
successful
album.
in
Remember that
sales
album?
and was doing pretty good numbers.
What's on you and No Time? And then all of a sudden, Lil' Kim went to fucking jail in Teaneck, New Jersey. No Time concert version.
Her image was built on her
version.
sexy appearance, which is why she attracted the male audience. And do you know whose idea it was? Biggie's, of course. He wanted her to show off her beauty at 100%.
That's what Kim
cultivates a lash of his
all the
style,
hardcore
which was
album
later
cover.
dubbed gangsta porn rap, which rubbed the infamous C. Dolores Tucker the wrong way, since she wanted to abolish gangsta rap, vulgarity, and so on.
I want you to, be sure, I feel that you're too young to be having
That's Kim's
sex.
interview, folks.
You're too young to be listening to my music, too. But if you're going to listen to it, make sure you do the right thing. Don't go out and have sex for the wrong reasons. And if you do...
Little girl wants to be more of a freak.
And Biggie was not only her mentor, but
like
also
Kim,
her
but she can't
boyfriend.
like Kim.
And it was at this time that Biggie meets Faith
Biggie was
Evans
with Faith.
and marries her
Biggie was
after
with Faith
only
at that
8
time.
days. They continued to work together, although it was very difficult to keep calm.
You calling a bitch, nigga? You wasn't talking that shit when
The
you was eating my
notorious
pussy
shit.
the other night.
The notorious shit.
My wife just
Try to get money. Dream Mafia featured Biggie.
So I was like, no, tell him that, tell him to ask his girlfriend.
But that wasn't the end of it. One of the worst altercations between Lil' Kim and Evans was when she caught her and her husband together in a hotel room. Here's what Faith Evans wrote in her autobiography. I got to Big's bedroom door, turned the knob, and went inside. As soon as I saw a small lump next to Big's large frame, I flew into a rage, ran over to the side of the bed, and pulled back the covers. I grabbed some chick out of the bed and started beating her ass. At some point, the chick's wig came off in my hand. It was a short, cropped wig.
Dude, that was
I stopped
Kim.
throwing punches for a minute to
That
get
was
a
Kim,
good
bro.
look at the chick I was beating up. It was Lil' Kim. She was completely butt naked, yelling as I pushed her around the room. Big sat up in bed and pointed at Kim, who was standing in a corner of the room, trying to cover her naked body with her hands while I was still yelling at Big. Yo, get her out of here, Big said. They led Kim out of the room and she screamed and cursed the whole way. When Kim and Evans first met, Evans only assumed that the two New York rappers had a working relationship. However, everyone in Big Circle knew what was going on behind the scenes. In 1996, the Lady Marmalade rapper was pregnant with Biggie's child. However, she had an abortion because she knew that the relationship was not conducive to bringing a child into the world. Kim has admitted that she and Biggie had a violent relationship.
Phones on like this. I'm like, yeah, that. Boom, my headphones on. And we started fighting and we tore the plaques off the wall and everything. And he choked me out in the elevator, so I passed out. And look,
Kim revealed that for a long time, violent men attracted her. Biggie was killed, and it was difficult for her to get over that loss.
Biggie was the type of person to motivate you. He always wanted you to succeed.
And then
she even stopped making music for a while, but later returned.
Was no more.
That he could just be on top, and I want to be on top again.
Right. In June of 2000, the long-awaited album "The Notorious K.I.M." was released. The album immediately debuted at number 4 on the Billboard 200 chart and sold 3 million copies worldwide. Thus, the album became one of the best-selling rap albums of that year.
Yes, me and Bobby
How many licks? If
I was you, I hate me
no matter
too.
what they say.
Shoes and a whole lot of.
And despite some positive moments of her popularity, in 2001, an incident happened that changed her life completely. Since 1996, she had a feud with Foxy Brown, and it all ended up in a shooting in 2001 near the studio Hot 97 in Manhattan. Shots were fired after Lil Kim gave an interview to the radio station.
I think Damien
One
Hardy
person
was
injured,
I think
and
Kim
the
was
second
dating
was
Damien
severely
Hardy at the
injured.
time.
When it came to court, Kim told the grand jury that she knew
Kim
nothing about the
used to date,
fact that two
Damien
people
Hardy.
from her entourage, her manager Damian Butler and another man, Sue Jackson, were present at the time of the shooting. But surveillance photos show Butler opening the door for Kim, with witnesses linking her to both men who pleaded guilty to weapons possession that night. As a result, in March of 2005, Kim was found guilty of perjury and conspiracy before a federal grand jury. I thought it was the right thing to do, but now I know it's wrong, Kim said, with tears in her eyes before the sentencing. On July 6, 2005, she was fined $50,000 and sentenced to a year and 1 day in prison, and Butler was jailed for 12 years. Lil Kim's fourth album, The Naked Truth, was released in September of 2005, while she was still incarcerated. Some fans have called this release the greatest female rap album of all time.
The Righteous Love song. Lil Kim did that song too. On the album. This song, whoa. That song got used too.
Now it's time to discuss her plastic surgery and why she got it done. As we said earlier, she was bullied for her appearance, developing an insecurity. In 2005, she went on a radio show and explained that she had her nose broken during a physically abusive confrontation with an ex-boyfriend whose name is Damian World Hardy. They dated for only 1 year between 2002 and 2003. Kim told the listeners that she, like many other women, had been a part of a violent relationship that left her with a broken nose, black eyes, all that stuff. The New York native revealed that she had to fix her nose not once but multiple times. Every time she'd go through a procedure and come back to her boyfriend, he'd hit her again and sent her reeling into a tangle of insecurities and self-loathing. It's not just her face that was damaged as a result of these brutal attacks. Kim had to undergo multiple MRIs because he beat me up so bad I couldn't even move. She also suffered from blood clots in her back.
You're fucking big. You're fucking white. You have no melanin, bitch.
Kim was so tired of lying about her injuries, pretending they were an allergic reaction, and burying her bruises in makeup, that she thought it would be better to get professional work done and wipe out those physical markings for once and for all. I kind of prayed the whole time. I didn't know what to do, and it has a lot to do with my maturity too. It's been times I was in the car with my ex-boyfriend and he punched me in my face, and I was bleeding all over the car. The doctor had to fix my nose because it was almost shattered.
You guys help me to get through
everything. You help Lil Kim
make me want to keep
before she had
the trauma led her to start her charitable organization, Lil Kim Cares, which does extraordinary work in raising awareness and funds for issues such as homelessness, child neglect, and violence against women. She's also keen on showing that just because she's a celebrity doesn't mean that she doesn't go through the same trials and tribulations as anyone else suffering from abuse. Like any other survivor, she has to muster up tons of courage to leave a toxic environment and learn to love herself again.
They can't call her the Big Mama for nothing. They can't even call her Big Mama for nothing or Queen Bitch for nothing.
Let's check out some of her singles, as well as her new album 9, which she put out in 2019.
Good pussy make a nigga come fast. Then I let him move my face as I come back. Like 3-7-11, working all night, 24 left. Fuck that FBI, I'm only
What's up with her now? She plans to release her biopic, she plans to continue releasing music, and Cardi B wants to collab with her. As for her family life, in 2014, she gave birth to a baby girl from Mr. Papers. She made amends with her father in 2012, with whom, as you already know, she had a pretty complicated relationship. After it became known that Linwood had Alzheimer's, she took him into her home and began to take care of him. In 2019, Lil Kim wrote that he had died. I recommend you check out the next video about what happened to the members of Bad Boy Records. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and I'll see you soon.
It's the thing with the beef. We're gonna take it straight into the story behind the beef between Foxy Brown and Lil Kim. We're gonna go straight to this. Let's play this now. Go see this shit. Go to Cancun's channel.
Psoriatic arthritis made my joints stiff, swollen.
What do you say, about the people who compare you and Kim? Is that by understanding?
This is called Kid Coon's channel, folks. After Music Vibes channel, I did that one. This is Foxy Brown dissing Lil Kim.
She's Queen B, and I give it up to her. She did a, you know what I mean? She was doing a thing before me. She paved the way.
Right.
She was the first one.
They can't even call Lil Kim Big Mama and Queen bitch for nothing.
And that's my girl.
She's one of the greatest female rappers ever.
Still yapping. You said that counting out millions. Like, how much you got for that?
Right after she was with Junior Mafia.
You know what I mean? So it's all good.
It's Joe Claire interviewing Foxy
Lil
Brown.
Kim and
Jesus
Foxy
Christ.
Brown, two all-time female MCs who paved the way for so many female artists, and many of those artists have cited them as influences, and we can still see it today. Two people who started out cordial in the beginning, but after a while, things just weren't the same, and that's why I'm here today.
Yeah,
I recently did a video of Lil Kim's debut album again, and a lot of people liked that video, and some even hit me up saying that I should do a video on Foxy Brown. I actually wanted to make a video about their project, Thelma and Louise, that they were supposed to have together, but that video never materialized. But before I get more into the video, I would first like to thank you guys for coming to see this, because you guys can be doing a million other things right now, but instead you're here with me, and I appreciate that. If you guys like the content, you guys should like, comment, and subscribe to help the channel grow. Also, follow my Instagram too. That would be greatly appreciated. Comment down below your favorite song, favorite album, favorite verse, favorite lyric, etc. for these two. Also, let me know where you're tuning in from as well. Represent where you're from. All right, without further ado, let's get into the video.
All right, up, called Cancun.
Let's give a little background on these two, and let's start off with Lil Kim. She got her start in rap as she was coming home from her job at Bloomingdale's, and Biggie Smalls approached Kim because he heard that she could rap, but he thought that she was too pretty for him. Kim at the time wasn't really serious about rapping just yet, and Biggie jokingly said that he knew that she couldn't rap. He, of course, said this because he was trying to get her to rap, and Kim took the bait and rapped for Biggie, and it was on ever since. Biggie would start bringing her around, and she would be placed in Junior Mafia.
It's 8 or 9 members, man. She's among those 9 people, bro.
He also helped mastermind her image and content, telling her songs in her voice as well, because Lil Kim's style and voice was a lot more rougher, especially her voice. Lil Kim would actually make a couple of appearances.
Remember that? I used to wear a suit. I used to wear a suit
which
too.
Released in September of 1994. She appeared on the intro, the F Me interlude, and in the song
the Fuck Me interlude.
The next
That's
year,
Ready to Die album.
The group Junior Mafia would release their debut album, Conspiracy, which spawned successful singles like Players Anthem and Get Money. These singles would really garner Lil Kim a lot of attention due to her standout performances on those tracks, and how popular they were on the charts. Lil Kim was supposed to be the first one out of Junior Mafia to drop a solo album, and this is where we skip over to Foxy Brown. Foxy would grow up and have ties to people like DJ Clark Kent and Tone of the production duo the Track Masters. Foxy Brown began to make a name for herself on Brooklyn's Lyricist Lounge circuit, where she was going by the name Queen Nefertiti, where she was in a group called before
Biggie got killed
Foxy
in LA.
was originally going under the name Big Shorty when she got her first record deal with Capitol Records, but would change her name to AKA before being dropped from the label. She would then try to get something going with Bad Boy, but got turned down by Diddy. She would then change her name to Foxy Brown after Pam Grier's iconic character in the movie Foxy Brown.
Yeah.
She got permission from Pam Grier to use it, but Pam would tell Foxy the only way that she could have it was to elevate. But Foxy would end up catching a breakthrough on the classic LL Cool J song I Shot Ya remix. The story goes that initially that was supposed to be a Biggie record, but it ended up being given to LL Cool J. There was a big thing about putting Foxy Brown on the record because some people didn't want to put new artists on that record. Foxy went into the booth and spit, and people were shocked. She definitely did her thing on that and held her own with the men. After this came the Def Jam deal after an intense bidding war over Foxy Brown. With the Def Jam deal eventually led to a debut album, which we'll get into in a little bit. This will complete the brief backstories behind Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown, but in the second half of the video, I will go through the history behind their beef.
That's the history behind it. That's what we're going with.
The thing about Kim and Foxy is that even though they're different, they both have similarities in certain things, like certain aspects of their come up through rap. Lil' Kim got on with her ties to Biggie, while Foxy knew people like DJ Clark Kent, Tone from the Trackmasters, and got a boost from Jay-Z. Both of them also got on at a
there's Kim at the Video Music Box I think it was with the dude.
On a side note, Lil' Kim and Foxy actually briefly attended the same high school growing up. Everything between Foxy and Kim was cordial at the time. We can look at an interview Lil' Kim did with The Source the same month her and Foxy Brown's debut album came out. I can see the narrative being pushed that Foxy was quote-unquote perpetrating Kim's style because Kim was asked about it, and Lil' Kim said that every interview she did, she gets asked about Foxy, and that's her girl. She did say that it was good to see a woman after her kicking the same style, and that women in the rap business need to stick together.
Foxy
she also said that she loved all the female rappers out at the time because they were showing the men and the public that they can do the same things that men can do and maybe even better. I also played that clip at the beginning of the video of Foxy talking about Kim, and I think that was all the way back in March of 1996, if I'm not mistaken, with that being on an episode of Rap City. As you heard, she said that Kim paved the way for her and said that she was the first one with that sexy hardcore style. Lil' Kim and Foxy would appear together on the No One Else Puff Daddy remix by Toto. Lil' Kim would release her debut album Hardcore on November 12th.
That's the same album I've been telling people
about. At number 11 on the Billboard 200 chart, selling 78,000 copies in its first week. On November 19th, which is the very next week, Foxy would release her debut album, Il Nana, as it peaked at number 7 on the Billboard 200, selling 109,000 copies in its first week. So these two literally dropped a week apart from each other, and Foxy ended up breaking Lil' Kim's record of having the highest debut for a solo rap album by a woman. Lil' Kim had that record for literally a week. We do know that Il Nana initially did better number-wise, but Hardcore would do better in the long run. If you were around during this time period or watched my Lil' Kim video, then you would know that Lil' Kim was buzzing heavy. Hardcore did well. The poster for the album was everywhere. The album spawned hit singles, all kinds of stuff. On the other hand, Foxy was buzzing too, with her appearing on songs like Ain't No Way Jay-Z, the You're Making Me High remix with Tony Braxton, the appearance on the song Touch Me, Tease Me, etc.
Oh yeah,
the
with
singles
Case.
for her debut album did well also. Getting Home peaking at number 42 on the Billboard Hot 100. I'll Be reached number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100, and Big Bad Mama would reach number 53 on the Billboard Hot 100. And actually, on the self-titled 9th track of Il Nana, Foxy shouts out Lil' Kim and said that she was waiting for her to drop her album, and she knew that it was going to be tight. Well, as we know, Foxy would literally drop a week after Lil' Kim. So after impressive debut albums, both Kim and Foxy were on the rise, and they were constantly being compared to one
Big
another.
Bad Mama song.
In February of 1997 is when Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown appeared side by side on the front of the Source magazine.
Bad Mama.
The two weren't interviewed at the same time, but they were still pretty friendly towards one another at the time, and obviously did the photo shoot together. It just so seems like all of a sudden the two didn't like each other after this, and this is what DJ Clark Kent had to say. All of a sudden, they just weren't cool. It was like, what the F happened? How did they become uncool? What happened that they weren't cool? Who said what? Who did what? Would it sound weird to you if I never asked? It would sound weird because one of my cousins and I was producing for the other. Would it seem weird because I introduced one to Jay-Z and the other one is Big's protege, and I'm producing both and I'm DJing for Big, but I'm Jay-Z's producer?
Oh,
or
Foxy
would it
Brown's,
seem smart because if I ask at some point, I have to take a side. But if I don't ask, I keep loving my cousin and producing records.
I think she did a song with
Blackstreet. Now, there's multiple different versions of how this beat allegedly started. DJ Clark Kent said that Daddy Yo, who was one of the orchestrators of Junior Mafia, had Foxy Brown going into Junior Mafia. DJ Clark Kent was unsure if Junior Mafia would have had 2 women in the group, and also explained that the eventual outcome of the lineup had nothing to do with Lil Kim being added over Foxy Brown. This is obviously way before the debut albums, but even after this, they appeared to be cool. There were also other theories to the origin of the beat, and one was told by Kim Osorio. I think that's how you say it.
Kim Osorio.
But she is like a veteran when it comes to hip-hop journalist and was the former editor-in-chief of The Source.
She used to work for The Source, bro. She knows.
I've gotten mixed versions of the story. One story that I remember was about their album packaging. If you go back to both of their debut albums, you will notice that they have on the same outfit.
Dude,
I remember hearing that one had borrowed the outfit from the other,
he used to work for The Source. Before he had time with The Source,
whatever the reason, it
TV
seems
star.
trivial to everyone around. Now, to put this into perspective, I'll put out the outfit that I think that she's talking about, and you can tell it's the same outfit that they both have on. Clark Kent also believes that the beef could be over something super corny that's just blown out of proportion, and it could be something that was read in an article that got read wrong, and nobody around them said that what they interpreted about the other was just wrong. But to further speak on the style thing, I mean, people think, with all due respect, people think that Foxy took Kim's style, whether that's with rapping or fashion. There's ton of pictures like comparing outfits of Foxy's to Kim's, but obviously earlier we heard Foxy say that Kim paved the way for her and was the one to first use that sexy style.
Paved the way for
maybe after a while and a few times too much, Lil' Kim felt like it was enough. That's just my personal speculation. Like, I completely don't know that for that. But to me, it kind of seems also in 1997, Jackie O and Leor Coleman, who is another man you should definitely look up if you don't know who that is. But in 2011, Foxy Brown's brother revealed in the interview with Vibe that Leor Cohen was set to
that's
give
Leor Cohen. That's the guy
$500,000
who used to be one of the heavyweights with Def Jam. That's Leor Cohen. That guy old as fuck.
The infamous Thelma and Louise project.
I mean, damn, Leor.
They both never showed up. DJ Clark Kent said that years after the fact, someone said that they would give him $1 million to make the album happen. He made a couple of calls and didn't get to talk to them, but more so their respective camps, and it just never happened. However, though, in 2021, Fat Joe was doing a show on Instagram Live, and he had a former Bad Boy producer on named Rashad Ringo Smith, and Ringo would play a snippet of a never before heard track titled "Enjoy Yourself" that was reportedly set to appear on Foxy and Kim's album Thelma and Louise. Here's a snippet.
Enjoy Yourself like Foxy and Kim. They did a song together. Foxy and Kim, they want to join forces and do a song together.
I'm kind of mad that we never got this because that track like sounds like really, really good. And man, just imagine a Watch the Throne type album.
Kim and Puffy concert
performance in 1997. Like, yo,
Lil' Kim and Puffy concert performance, man.
But in all seriousness, I wish that this would have
Mace was already.
I've also read
Mace was probably on there too.
Article that some people think that this tension built up between Foxy and Kim wouldn't have reached the level that it did if Biggie didn't die in March of 1997.
He's on that fucking
and also,
too.
Like, since like Foxy started to align herself with Nas and The Firm, which was further from Jay-Z. but DJ Clark Kent calls BS on this
number
and
7
says that what happened between Foxy and Kim was more personal than it was rap. One of the first times the beef was addressed was in Foxy Brown's song My Life off of her China Doll album that came out in January of 1999. She talks about how a girl used to be a sister and how they would dream together about how big that they would be. Then she makes a reference to Thelma and Louise, which we obviously know was supposed to be the name of the collab album between Foxy and Kim. Bro? She then ends off talking about how they went their separate ways and how they don't even speak anymore. Later on that year, Lil' Kim would say some stuff on Lil Caesar's track called Play Around off of his debut album. But it was actually Diddy who told girls to stop sounding like her. Was already doing with the constant comparisons in the media between Foxy and Kim, this shot was said to be at Foxy. And mind you, this track came out in 1999. The next year, Lil' Kim would release her The Notorious K.I.M. album. There was a lot of drama behind the release of The Notorious K.I.M. with the album being leaked. In the summer of 1999, several songs from the original album were leaked and widely available through internet file sharing services and bootleg outlets. But on the self-titled track off of the album, The Notorious K.I.M., in the first verse, Lil' Kim was taking mad shots. She was saying that girls say that they're different, but in all actuality, they want to be heard. She said this girl running around with the Gap and fake raps, having panic attacks. Now, Foxy Brown is known for her what some might say erratic behavior in some situations, but that's where like
Foxy
the panic
Brown
attack
just went
line
after
comes
the person
fake
who did
raps
her
part
nails.
could allude to Foxy not writing all of her raps, but in all actuality, it's kind of been proven that Kim doesn't either. And I even played a reference track from Biggie on Kim's song Queen Bee off of her first album. Foxy has, in a way, replied to this, but Foxy in the song 730 off of her Broken Silence album, she would say that she does write her stuff, but so what? He wrote some songs because she blew him up the same. The he being a mention to Jay-Z, and this meaning that so what that Jay-Z wrote some of her stuff because she blew him up the same, which is a reference to the song Jigga, which featured Foxy Brown and was Jay-Z's first song to really blow up. And if I'm not mistaken, it was his first song to chart on Billboard with him being the lead artist, I believe. I think so. Foxy has also went on to claim that this record made Jay-Z. Foxy would continue in the song saying that she isn't ducking anybody and that she would have killed Lil' Kim, but it wouldn't be fair. Earlier in the verse, she said that people think that she's crazy, and so what that she crashed her Range Rover. But backpedaling a little bit to the Notorious K.I.M. song, and Lil' Kim said that Foxy isn't a star, and her record company knows that. She asked how Foxy made all of this money to get this far and blow up. She follows it up by saying that she'll bet on Lil C's before Foxy and her firm. If this was back in the days, Kim said that she would have been snatched her, but she's getting money now and the girls in the hood can have her. She also says to stop paying these dudes to write her stuff. So with this diss, we really got it pretty much confirmed it was at Foxy because besides the other stuff, she did mention the firm, which obviously Foxy was a part of. Foxy would fire back on the track Bang Bang, which appeared on the Capone and Noriega album, The Reunion, which was released in 2000. Also, the verse that we got from Foxy Brown on Bang Bang, according to Nori, was the least disrespectful verse that Foxy had. Nori said that the original version was much worse, and to my knowledge, we really don't know what Foxy initially said. The lines about Biggie in the song we have today are said to be one of the main causes for the Hot 97 incident. Foxy starts off her verse with the rhyme, "Hot damn ho, here we go again," which is a reference to the legendary female MC Light, because she would say this in her song, 10% Diss, which appeared on her 1988 album, Light as a Rock, which is also mentioned in the next line. Lil' Kim would also start off her verse in the 1999 Mobb Deep song, Quiet Storm remix, with the "Hot damn ho, here we go again" line, because she was paying homage to MC Light. Another thing that I want to say is that some people feel like Lil' Kim's verse on the Quiet Storm remix
like they
was
even proud of Foxy Brown at this point.
Then there's some people who think that this is actually directed at Charlie Baltimore. And
Charlie
the reason
Baltimore
why is because of the lines
gets shitted
coming
on.
in this game on some
Charlie Baltimore gets
stuff.
shitted on.
Girls suck D just to get to
what
the
happens
top.
with Foxy
But back
Brown.
to Bang Bang, and Foxy would say that Kim was talking slick and what was up with all the sneak dissing.
You see all the women that like Biggie Smalls have
with the
already
subliminal
dated
stuff, which is a reference to the notorious K.I.M. song. But Foxy would tell Lil' Kim to let Biggie rest in peace and hop off his meat and do her. She also said that she didn't give a F if Lil' Kim pushed her album back, which is an obvious reference to Lil' Kim pushing the notorious K.I.M. album back due to the leaks, and this song was most likely written and recorded before Kim's album came out. But the line is also in reference to what Lil' Kim said in the song The Notorious B.I.G., which appeared and was a single on Biggie's posthumous album, Born Again. This was released in December of 1999, by the way, and Lil' Kim told people to be glad that she pushed her album back because she did girls a favor. Now, after the Bang Bang thing, a very unfortunate thing happened in February of 2001. From what I've heard from multiple different sources, is that Lil' Kim and her entourage bumped into Capone, who is one half of the rap group Capone and Noriega, and Capone is a friend of Foxy Brown's. An argument ensued outside of the Hot 97 offices in New York City, where Lil' Kim and her entourage ran into Capone and his crew. More than 20 shots were fired from 5 different weapons between the two groups and resulted in one of Capone's associates getting shot in the back. I'll touch more on this incident as we get into 2004, 2005, but a week later, Foxy would offer a truce to Lil' Kim. Here's what she had to say. I really don't know how it started, but Russell Simmons and I, we got together and I said, Russell, I want to call a truce. I want to have a sit down with Kim. I don't care what it is. Let's just end it. We can even do a collaboration. We're bigger than this. If it has to start with me, let it start with me. Lil' Kim's camp wasn't responsive, and from what I've seen, Bang Bang was a big reason behind the incident with the shooting. Noriega said that Foxy and Kim had beef whether Foxy was going to do Bang Bang or not. He said that Foxy would have been on someone else's record spitting the same thing. Noriega said that him and Capone didn't have any beef, but they were just representing and letting the female cats fight. But if Foxy needed them to be in her corner, then they'll be with her. This was said months before the shooting, though. However, like I said, Lil' Kim's team didn't take the truce, and in 2002, Lil' Kim was back on Foxy's head with her Guess Who's Back freestyle. Also in 2002, a sort of twist of events occurred when Diddy began to eye on Foxy Brown. In an interview with MTV in 2002, he said that him and Foxy were cool and he liked her as an artist. At the time, he didn't know what the future held and said that he doesn't like to look at nobody else's artist because at the time, Foxy was with Def Jam. But the thing, though, is that Def Jam almost succeeded in acquiring the group 112 from Bad Boy at the time this was all taking place.
Def Jam 112,
Diddy said that when you play around in his house, then you better nail everything down around you. In 2003, Foxy was set to release the album Il Na Na 2, The Fever, and it was reported that P. Diddy had jumped on board to produce several tracks on the album as well as to release the album through a Bad Boy / Def Jam joint venture. This album dealt with so many problems as well, and it never came out until years later when it was leaked. Why I bring this up is that obviously Foxy and Diddy were together after Foxy called out Kim and Diddy for sending subliminal shots. Lil' Kim was never officially a bad boy, but obviously she had deep ties with Diddy. But speaking of Lil' Kim, she would have bigger things to worry about because in April of 2004, Lil' Kim would be indicted and charged with conspiracy to commit perjury, make false statements, and obstruct justice, perjury before the grand jury, the making of false statements, and obstruction of justice. The initial police report said that Lil' Kim was not present when the shots rang out during the incident with Capone, but 2 days later, they determined that she was actually on the scene. When she was questioned by police the following day, Lil' Kim claimed to have no knowledge of what caused the bullets to fly and refused to tell police who had accompanied her to the radio station. Lil' Kim also allegedly lied when later questioned by a grand jury in connection with the investigation. There's a lot of other details about the situation that I'm not really going to get into. But in 2005, Lil' Kim would be sentenced to a year and a day in prison and fined $50,000 for lying to a federal grand jury. Lil' Kim would get out in 2006, and by this time, she was already 4 albums in, with her first 3 albums going platinum in the United States. Lil' Kim wouldn't release another album for years, but did drop some mixtapes throughout the years. Foxy at this point, and even now, hasn't dropped an album since 2001, Broken Silence, and her first 2 albums went platinum, and Broken Silence is gold. In 2005, Foxy was suffering from a severe hearing problem, which did a major number on her career, which is unfortunate. I also have to mention that on Lil' Kim's album, The Naked Truth, on the track Quiet, she was still taking shots at Foxy, with her mentioning Foxy being arrested for the dispute about her nails. She brought up the physical fight between Foxy and Jackie O had, which in Kim's words said proof Foxy wasn't a fighter. And then Lil' Kim said that she wasn't going at Foxy, but instead she was going at her ghostwriter. But back to Foxy, and literally at the beginning of 2005, Jay-Z, who was now the head of Def Jam, signed Foxy back, and she was working on her album Black Rose, which ended up never coming out. After 2005, both Foxy and Kim dropped a mixtape, with Lil' Kim dropping Miss Goat and Foxy Brown dropping Brooklyn's Don Diva. And side note, mind you, throughout these years, both Foxy and Kim was having beef with other people as well. Of course, there was still tension between Lil' Kim and Foxy throughout the years, but things would flare up once again as a result of what happened at the 2013 Summer Jam. There were rumors that Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown would reunite during Fabulous's performance. According to Foxy, Fabulous did suggest that Lil' Kim should join them on stage, but Foxy would later reveal that would only work if it was quote-unquote real. Foxy was still not over some of the comments made by Lil' Kim about Foxy's deafness. Here's the story behind this response, though. In 2011, Lil' Kim would drop her infamous Black Friday diss on Nicki Minaj, but there was definitely a shot at Foxy when Lil' Kim told Nicki that this is the stuff that the other girl almost got killed for. Foxy would reply to this with The Massacre. There are plenty of other tracks that they have both dissed each other on as well, but we'll be here all day if I broke all of them down individually. In response to this, Lil' Kim did an interview, and she was asked about the track, and she said that she doesn't think Foxy heard it, which is obviously poking fun at her deafness. Lil' Kim was also asked about her relationship with Diddy at this point, and she said that she didn't speak to Diddy because he showed his side and what he wanted to do when it came to Foxy Brown. But back to the Summer Jam situation, and Foxy said that she understood the epicness of the biggest female rappers in the game to change the game, come together and touch mics. But somewhere along the way, some part of that has to feel real. It has to be real. Foxy also cleared up some rumors about her being late and ruining any chance of a reunion. But Foxy said that she was in fact on time and even arrived with Fabulous's girlfriend. Foxy would say, if we can orchestrate a situation where it's real, then I'm with it. If it's not real, I'm not with it. And it wasn't real, as you can see. She was defiant from the moment he even said my name. She said, I don't want to perform with her. I said, Fab, it's not genuine. So Lil' Kim would end up performing and Foxy didn't, and there was some drama over that. Now, after this, I mean, like, there, like, really, like, wasn't anything, like, really crazy in my opinion. Could have been just little skirmishes throughout the years, but things would kind of bubble up again when Lil' Kim was asked to do a versus battle, and if she had to do it, like who would she do it with? And Lil' Kim said that she would do it with Nicki Minaj. That too. Like, we all know that, like, the only battle that makes sense is Foxy. That's the only battle when it comes to Lil' Kim doing versus. Only one that makes sense in my opinion. I get why Little Kim would want to do one with Nicki,
really
but like I'm sorry, like Nicki is a completely different animal. I'm not saying like Nicki is
Minaj
like
is the one that
Lil'
Kim is gonna pay homage to.
Whew, I mean, like Lil' Kim,
get that
like,
too.
I know that Lil' Kim got a catalog, but Nicki got a crazy catalog too. So we're not even gonna go there. But yeah, there were rumors about people trying to make that Foxy and Lil' Kim versus happen though. But like as of right now, it still hasn't happened.
No, it ain't.
All in all, I really hope that one day these women can settle their differences because it would be big for the culture. Obviously, it's a lot harder than some other situations because people got injured, went to court, did time for some things. So it's a lot harder to get past some of these things. But it would be so big if they did. When I do these beef videos, I normally do it if the group or two people that I'm like reporting on are back on decent terms because I'm not like trying to promote any violence or any,
James
look at none of that stuff. You know what I mean? I'm really just trying to report history and give people the content that they just be like asking me for, putting things together, as I say. But I don't mind artists competing against each other. But when it gets physical and all that other stuff, I don't really support that. I really don't support it going that way, as I should say. But my message at the end of this video is hopefully one day these two ladies can settle their differences. One last thing I would like to address is the 2012 Summer Jam thing, where it was rumored that Foxy was allegedly going to do a quote-unquote Little Kim funeral on stage. Nicki Minaj denied this because allegedly Foxy was going to be one of Nicki's guest acts. And ultimately, Nicki pulled out of Summer Jam that year. So that Little Kim funeral thing has never been proven true. And yeah, I don't know. But all in all, tell me what you guys thought of the video. Let me know if you learned something new. I don't really have anything much to say, man.
Kim is still alive and breathing, man. Nobody can ever stop what Lil' Kim would do. She's alive and kicking, clout.
But yeah, I think that I covered a lot.
She alive and kicking dogs.
Of stuff today. But peace. I'm out.
I'm not gonna do that for to me on Lil C's. No, I'm gonna leave it alone though. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'll focus on the Lil C's interview. By the time I'm gonna do my cousin Brown Shaw's birthday. I'll do that. I'll do that on October 30th, so I'll save it for October 30th. So leave that be. Leave that be.
I did.
I'm gonna leave that be.
You could write any kind of lyric.
I'm gonna leave that shit be. Leave that shit be. Straight up. See that the whole shit with the whole thing with the Lil' Kim story, laced with the beef Lil' Kim had with Foxy Brown. That's all the shit that you see here. Man, I just got off from watching Off the Script, so you know what I mean, on my Michael show. Like 2 hours. After I whip me up an appetizer like some coleslaw laced in some laced with some goldfish snack crackers and some chicken breast ham and chop it. I chop it with my Ginsu knife. Laced up with that and the TV dinner on top of that. Laced up with that. I whipped me up that that appetizer early this morning. But I'm gonna eat some of that salad like later. First of all, let me go see what really happened on the Sports Keto shit that I'm gonna read for y'all. Before I'm gonna before I'm going to end this this video. There's a picture of Rhea Ripley. There's a picture of Rhea Ripley showing off her tattoos. You know, her tattoos on her. One tattoo is on her arm, but she got a tattoo on her lower belly. There's a tattoo on her legs and shit. What else did Rhea Ripley would do? Power slam a 290-pound Luke Gallows on last night's WWE Raw taping. Yep, this is what I'm reading. This is what I'm reading for y'all. Middle of this of the birthday celebration of my late grandmother. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do this shit. WWE star Rhea Ripley, whose real name is Demi Bennett, showed off an incredible feat of strength by power slamming a 290-pound Luke Gallows on the latest episode of Raw. Finn Balor and the rest of Judgment Day are currently engulfed in a feud against AJ Styles and the OC, made of Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. The two men returned to WWE a few weeks ago to assist the Phenomenal One. On the latest episode of The Red Brand, the two groups got into a heated war words. The following segment, Balor faced off against Carl Anderson in a singles match. During the contest, Rhea Ripley shows off her incredible strength when she power slammed Luke Gallows outside of the ring. It should be noted that the former tag team champion weighs nearly 300 pounds. The guy is nearly closer to 300 pounds, okay? See, we're going to WWE on BT Sports Twitter page. This is what we're going to show you right here. This is a near 300-pound Luke Gallows, a nearly 300-pound Luke Gallows, Dr. Luke Gallows, being body slammed by Rhea Ripley. Take a listen to this. Yep. Rhea body slammed Luke. This is what you see here. There's 6 times you gotta hear this shit. See, if you look right at Rhea Ripley, she body slams a nearly 300-pound Luke Gallows onto the concrete right in front of Kevin Patrick and Corey Graves. So they will stand right by the announce table watching this. And this after the body slam, Rhea just did this. See, after that, Rhea went and did this. She went and did this. She did that Wolfpack signal to spite Gallows. So you can look right at it and you see if she must have been body slamming dudes bigger than she is. All that body slamming, nobody else knows the story behind it. But they might have 206 or 209 likes on this video, and nobody else even know what. Let's call this one. This says the slam heard around the world. This is like what they said about the slap back in 1984, 1985 with David Schultz and John Stossel. You know, in the 80s. John Stossel said something to Dr. D in that disrespectful manner. Like he thinks that wrestling was fake or Dr. D is fake. So Dr. D, David Schultz, he got hot and just smacked him. Smacked him just like that. Yeah. Dr. D had to smack John Stossel again. Yeah, and John Stossel ran away. John Stossel trying to buck up to him. You know what I mean? You can't do that. Stossel's scared. Stossel's scared of fucking Dr. D, cannot tell him wrestling is phony and all that bullshit and tell him he's phony. Real shit. It's real shit. It's a real sport. It's a contact sport. When you say stuff about how wrestling was fake and a wrestler like Dr. D is fake, let me show you this shit. Let me show you this shit in advance, folks. Let me show you this shit in advance, folks. Let me show you this shit in advance, bruh. This ain't no phony act. This is real shit right here. A man getting, this is right here, a nearly 300-pound man getting body slammed by a woman right in front of the announcers. And that's what you don't see on television every time. I seen this last night, okay, with the body slamming, but enough of this shit. A lot of women can body slam near 300-pound men, okay? They do that because they want to just do their testing the strength. You don't test the strength like that. You just gotta be careful with this shit. Rhea Ripley, why put her in a body slamming contest for no fucking reason at all? Demi Bennett, why you want to put her in this shit? Body slam like Andrew Hankinson around, they'll be like all over the news and they'll like show you this shit. They'll play you 6 minutes of that not 6 minutes, they'll play you 6 seconds of that clip of her body slamming the man. The body slamming thing is no joke. It's just real life shit, full contact sports shit. But I'm happy people I'm happy all you people that they're viewing this video. I hope this video can have 1 view or 2 views. If it doesn't have no views, I'll go back and watch this video. When I finish this video, I'll go back and watch it. But I gotta go back to this Division 2 shit, see if I can put it in, so I can go to some side missions or some tech caches. So I had to find on the game. I might do this shit in that period. Yeah, it's 10:40 p.m. a.m. It's 10:40 a.m. I'm about to end the stream and go back upstairs, man, and whoop some serious ass on this motherfucking Division 2 shit. Go whoop some ass in the Division 2 shit. I'm telling you, I'm going to this motherfucking stream. See you on the 30th for the birthday celebration of my cousin Boyan Shaw.